I'm indebted to the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima GCON, an amiable leader and a gentleman par excellence, for taking time out of his busy schedule to honor me with his esteemed presence. I'm particularly grateful for his courage, encouragement, and soothing words, which are healing balm to the physical and psychological trauma caused by my traducer and the Nigerian state. Permit me, Your Excellency, to inform this audience that after the verdicts by the various courts were over, I opted to go back into exile. In fact, I left. It was to the credit of His Excellency, the Vice President, who called me one day and said, "Come back to Nigeria. You have to put a closure to this saga." I thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'm also very grateful to the Chief Presenter, His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde, for honoring me by presenting this book to the public. Governor Makinde has repeatedly demonstrated his friendship through his numerous acts of kindness and forbearance. I can attest that through hard work and service to his people, he has risen to the enviable position of a respected political leader and statesman in the Nigerian polity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my close associates and friends have sought to know my motivation for writing this book, which many have either termed controversial or too revealing by Nigerian standard. While not attempting to review the book, it is important to assure you all that I did not set out to denigrate anyone, but to set the record straight and provide valuable insights into a transaction that was not only carried out in furtherance of the national interest, but also to safeguard Nigeria's economic interests as it relates to the exploitation of our hydrocarbon resources. The Chinese proverb to the effect that the faintest ink is better than the strongest memory aptly reinforced the reliability of written records over human memory. I am therefore not unmindful of the fact that the event would outlive us. Documenting such events as have been done in this book is a more dependable way of preserving such information and effectively shielding it from distortion deliberately or unwittingly. Although I was not a party to the 2006 settlement agreement which preceded my appointment as Attorney General of the Federation of Nigeria and Minister of Justice, my traducers, state and non-state actors alike, ensured that I suffered immense public odium, loss of reputation, earnings, and family life for the role I played in ensuring the implementation of an agreement in 2011, notwithstanding that I was only carrying out the lawful directives of the President in the exercise of his executive powers under the Constitution. The book has revealed the damaging role of anti-corruption campaigners, local and international, especially when their motives are less than altruistic, laced with unethical conduct and desire to achieve nothing more than to destroy hard-earned reputations. Their use of unethical and illegal tactics, as was done in my case, to satisfy narrow interests and predetermined outcomes must be deprecated. It was during my travail that I learned that public officers with a viable position in government could be persuaded in the national interest to lie on oath to ensure victory in the spurious suit instituted on behalf of the government. I've always believed the public prosecution should be conducted ethically and only when the facts support the charges. The OPL 245 prosecution revealed disturbing incidents of connivance, conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and downright suppression of exculpating evidence to secure a conviction at all costs. The amount of public funds expended on this malicious prosecution and ill-motivated civil suits is astounding. Nigerian taxpayers should not be made to carry such a needless burden. There must be consequences for ill-conceived and malicious prosecutions conducted at public expense. The Milan prosecutor in Italy were found guilty of suppressing exculpatory evidence. The judicial system punished their unethical conduct with 8 months imprisonment. On the contrary, in Nigeria, the investigators and prosecutors of the EFCC, in the bid to satisfy their paymasters, equally disregarded subsisting court orders, suppressed evidence, and intimidated witnesses to lie on oath in a desperate effort to try to secure a conviction. Regrettably, nothing has happened to them. We must restore the good old tradition and standards of prosecution based on evidence. No matter the pressure that is brought to bear on them, prosecutors must never be persecutors. In all of this, my belief in the Nigerian project remains unshakable. Public office is a public trust for which we remain accountable, not only to our maker, but also to the people. It is said that when you fall into hard times, that is when you know your true friends. I was lucky to have friends that I could lean on, even in those difficult years in exile. While for want of time, I cannot begin to call all of them by name, I must acknowledge His Excellency Ahmed Usman Ododo, Governor of Kogi State, for his brotherly love and support. I must also acknowledge the role played by His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Adamu Mazu in my years in exile. I thank him very much for his friendship as well. Permit me, Your Excellency, to recognize His Excellency Rotimi Amaechi for his friendship and support, particularly his various visits to me while I was in Ghana. The same equally goes for my friend, His Excellency SN1 Nyesom Wike, CON, the current Minister of FCT, who stood by me when I came back from exile and gave me all the necessary support. I remain grateful. I also acknowledge the friendship and support of His Excellency Governor Nasiru El-Rufai, former Governor of Kaduna State, Chief Ben Peters, Chairman Aiteo Group, Prince Godi Jadi Abba, who stood for over 3 hours waiting to see me when I was detained by the EFCC, and he was refused access to me, yet he was a minister in the government of the Buhari government at that time. My brother, my friend of 45 years, Dr. Didi Dodo, OFR, SAN, a culprit who persuaded me into writing this book, so if there is any backlash, we have to share it together. My brother, Professor Fibian Ajogu, who was always with me in Ghana as well, giving me all the necessary moral support and giving me literatures, books to read to occupy my time. And of course, my brother, Mahesh Vaswani, who ensured that throughout my stay in Ghana and Dubai, I was comfortable. I remain grateful. Let me also thank Mr. Roland Ewubare, the current COO of NNPC, Mr. Simon Kolawole, founder of the Cable, His Excellency Alhaji Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, like I've said earlier on, who visited me more than twice in Ghana and who, upon my return, did everything possible also to support me, to encourage me, and to get reintegrated back to the country. I thank you, Your Excellency. I want to thank my sister, Hadiza Bala Usman, who is currently a special advisor in this government, who has been also very supportive. We share literatures together, we share our experiences together, and I'm grateful for your sisterly love and affection. Thank you. Finally, Your Excellency, I'm grateful to the Almighty Allah for keeping me alive to witness this day. My profound gratitude goes to my family, particularly my wife, Saditu, who is unavoidably absent today because she lost an uncle of hers. My children and siblings, particularly Husna Bello, and my brother, Engineer Bashir Bello, and all special assistants and staff who stood by me throughout my ordeal. Permit me to say, Your Excellency, that I've forgiven all those who have hands in my ordeal. With the public presentation of this book, sir, I say boldly and clearly that I admire the courage of Ibrahim Mustafa Magum in coming forward to make up with me, to apologize to me, and to empathize with me for the role each and every one of them played in my travail. I have forgiven him. I see him as a friend, and I hope he will take steps to also make up with others that may have been victims of his activities in office. May God bless you all. Thank you very much. I'm grateful.